Okay, you can do this. All you gotta do is make your buddy Shucks admit that he's actually El Gordo, one of the biggest drug traffickers on the West Coast. And then you'll get what you requested.
Speaking of Latin American countries, how's business?
Nah, son. Speaking of Latin America, are you still paying that pretty little prostitute from Tijuana?
Hey, man. What are you talking about, dude?
Hey guys, dropping on Black Friday, we got these, if you're reading this, drink water crew necks that drop. So make sure y'all get your little money together and prepare that for Black Friday because it's lit. We got these in 2 colors and they're so dope.
I can show you the world, shiny, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes.
It takes too long to get to the other part.
Yeah, I know.
You gave us nothing to work.
I know.
I'll take this verse. Take you wonder by wonder,
Ruben Studdard.
over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world.
I'm just in it. That was just
A new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no. Where to go? We're saying we're only dreaming.
A whole new world. I thought you wasn't gonna go. I thought you wasn't gonna go.
I don't need it. I don't need it. Y'all just, you know what? That's a duet. I'm just here to witness.
Don't you dare close your eyes. What's good, you sexy motherfuckers? Welcome back to another episode of the No Chaser Podcast. I'm Timothy De La Ghetto.
I'm Ricky Shucks.
And I'm Nikki Blade.
And we out here in this bitch. Man, it's a beautiful, been a beautiful season out here.
So nice.
In these streets. I feel like, are we at Thanksgiving yet? I feel like by the time this one drops, it's gonna be just about Thanksgiving.
I'm so hungry just thinking.
Man, do y'all fuck with the what's your favorite holiday food during Thanksgiving?
During Thanksgiving, I like stuffing.
Oh yeah, stuffing is good. What kind of stuffing though?
What you mean?
Like, are you going stovetop, old school box stuffing, or does it have to be something super? You like the ones with the celery and all the
Not so much the celery, but it can't be out of the box.
Okay.
But the problem is all the people who made it not out the box, they real old, so they ain't cooking no more. So I'm like, shit, man, I don't know where I'm gonna get some.
Man, I'm so hyped. And also, okay, so check this out. I got this little 86-year-old neighbor, right? She's so cute. This little 86-year-old black grandma. She lives next to me, and she's so cool. She's so sweet. Now, like, if I'm on a trip with Chia for like a few days, she'll call me. She'll be like, Tim, are you and Chia on trip right now? Because I just want to make sure, because I didn't see your lights, and, I just want to make sure you guys were okay. And I'm like, oh, no, we're good. And she's like, okay, well, I look at you like my kids now, and I love you both so much. I'm like, oh, I've only been there a year, but thank you. But somebody was like, do you think she can cook? I'm like, she has to know how to cook. So I'm trying to find a way where I can finesse a situation where she cooks something for me.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to just get some cookies from somewhere, be like, yo, I got some cookies if you want. Start the food relationship, because I know she hasn't been cooking in a minute because all her kids have moved off, live in different cities.
You trying to be her kid?
Yes, I'm trying to get this black grandma cooking that I've never had growing up.
I don't know, man. I've seen her. She looked like the healthier
You think
cooking
so?
kind.
Oh, you mean the not extra butter on everything?
Yeah.
Man.
Baby, you know that sodium, it give you high blood pressure.
Can't
She
have-
look like one of them grandpas.
Can't have your ankles swelling.
I mean, she is 86. I mean,
Yeah,
if you live for a long time.
Healthy. That area that you live in
Yeah.
is kind of notorious for that. They're a little woker, a little more aware of things. Over
More
there.
than welcome. Our family goes all out for Thanksgiving. We used to do multiple turkeys, deep fried turkey.
Bury them in the ground.
Might as well.
Like luau.
Pretty much. But every way you can think of having a turkey. It is made in our house, and my dad goes and deconstructs the turkey and then puts it back together.
Oh.
So you just lift off the skin and it's already cut. So you look at
What?
Yeah,
Like duck.
you look at so you look at the turkey and there's no bones in it.
Buck.
Yeah, it's amazing. So you lift back the skin, and the skin is like the best part, and then the stuffing that's inside.
The Hawaiian hoe is crazy.
Yes.
He is on some next level shit right
Yeah,
now.
big.
I love me some turkey. I love me I think.
Are you a yams, y'all?
I never eat the yams.
I used to.
The candy yams.
Yeah, I used to, but
My mom loves making it, but she went from making a big one to a real small
Yeah.
one over the years.
I think
'cause nobody
everybody-
eats it.
as you get older, them shit's too sweet, man.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I need Jello with my honey baked ham for. It's weird.
Fucking
But-
pudding.
Mashed potatoes and gravy. I'm there for that. I love good gravy.
I ever tell y'all about? I mean, I'm sure I've told you this. I told you the bordados.
But
I haven't told you about bordados.
I don't know about
Okay, so
bordados.
when I was in England for a show, and I like to try different foods that are native to different areas, right? So I'm with this dude named Segar. He was hosting us, and I'm like, Segar, what's like a special London food that I gotta eat while I'm in London? He was like, oh, well, there's bordados. I'm like, the fuck is bordados? What is that? And he's like, and I'm thinking like, I gotta try this bordado shit. He's like, well, you have like mashed bordados, baked bordado. I'm like, you talking about potatoes? You telling me I gotta try some potatoes right now, Segar?
so mad.
Everybody in the car was like, my boy JR, he's like, potatoes? Damn, never had that before. The fuck is wrong with you, man? But yeah, holiday season is upon us.
Baked beans. We do really good baked beans.
Where?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
I like some good baked beans.
with with Portuguese sausage, bacon, all of that inside.
Y'all got any special Hawaiian shit you be doing?
I mean, it's Thanksgiving. We go real white with it. Real traditional white.
Standard.
Well, because we eat all the other stuff all the other time. Like, I don't want Hawaiian food on Thanksgiving. I want white people food.
I want to hear some funny shit.
That's
colonizer food.
That's what we want. We want the turkey, the mashed potatoes. Don't put the cranberry sauce near me because I still don't understand it.
It's fucking amazing.
Is it? Am I
Put it on the roll, bro.
on a roll?
Yeah, it's like putting jelly on your breakfast biscuit.
Oh, is it? Okay, I've never tried it, but I'm gonna have to now.
And if you do it right, with the stuffing is good too.
And the best part about Thanksgiving is the next day we make turkey sandwiches.
Oh, girl.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah. Especially like, look, man, like my family has the Hawaiian bread on deck. Oh,
The
man.
King's Hawaiian roll?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit. God. Oh, shit. Fuck. Man, real quick, don't you hate when you're feeling kind of like you don't smell too great? I remember back in the day, I used to just Axe body spray all day. You know what I'm saying? I thought that's all I needed. But times have changed. That's what we got Hawthorne. Hawthorne is super lit if you're trying to smell good. And, why is it super lit, Rick?
Well, I love it because they give you like a quiz where you get to tell them all your specifics and they'll cater to what you like or what you need. I personally have sensitive skin and that was on there. I got to say, hey, my skin sensitive, my skin sensitive, give me a body wash that's not going to break me out or irritate me and things like that.
And then they also had hair types because they have shampoo and they have other options like that. So they want to know what's your texture. What is your goal? And also one thing that's really cool about Hawthorne is that if you're looking to get a gift for somebody else, you can fill out the quiz for them and then they will pick what fits best for that person.
Well, damn. Well, that is convenient, actually.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
And it goes through everything. Even with your deodorant, they ask, what are your concerns? Are you worried about aluminum? Are you worried about it staining? Is smell and sweating one of the things that you look for when you're getting a deodorant? And Hawthorne goes and makes sure that you get the right one.
Yeah. My favorite part about it is they ask you like, what's your favorite cologne, what you're wearing at the time, so that they can give you something comparable to it. That's dope.
And then at the end of the quiz, you can actually pick the products that they already have sorted out for you and you can choose to put them in your basket. And also the way that it works, how easy is that? I didn't have to think, I didn't have to search through a bunch of different items and it fits my needs that I have at that time.
Yeah. Perfect. And it's totally risk-free with free shipping and free returns. And guess what? We got a special deal for y'all. Check out Hawthorne at hawthorne.co. That's Hawthorne with an E and use my promo code NOCHASER to get 10% off your first purchase. purchase. That's HAWTHORNE.co and use my code NOCHASER to get 10% off your purchase. Hawthorne.co. Hey y'all, if you like sex, you will love BlueChew.com. I, for one, love sex, so that means I would love BlueChew.com. Blue Chew offers men a performance enhancement for the bedroom. Wouldn't you like to last longer and go extra rounds? I definitely would, because sometimes you got those nights where you can't get it in, so you kind of just gotta it's a mushy ball. You gotta kind of just squeeze it in there, shoehorn it in there. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it gets hard while you're thrusting your limp dick in there.
But if you had Blue Chew,
you can get the first chewables with active ingredients sildenafil or tadalafil. BlueChew.com has affiliated physicians work with you to find the dosage and active ingredient that is best for you. Chewables can work faster than pills, up to twice as fast. The chewables from BlueChew.com can be taken on a full or empty stomach. That's nice, so you don't always have to go to dinner beforehand. Online physician consult is free, so it is cheaper than those other two Viagra Francialis. It only takes a few minutes to connect with a BlueChew.com affiliated physician, and if you qualify, you get prescribed online quickly. All right, it ships directly to your door in discreet packaging, and the chewables from Blue Chew are prescribed online by a doctor and made in the US of A. Blue Chew gives you confidence in bed every time. You and your partner will love it, so chew it and do it. And guess what, Rick? You want to tell them about a special deal we have?
I do, because here's a great deal for you guys. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first order free when you use promo code TIM. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BLUE Chew.com. Promo code TIM.
And it's funny because speaking of Islanders on Thanksgiving, because when I was younger, I used to always go to my white auntie's house for Thanksgiving. She was the one that cooked the meal for everybody. All my little half white, half Thai cousins, and we'd all her white side, and we would all go over there. She cook a big old with all the fixings, right? And then eventually her cousin, her kids grew up, moved out, got families of their own, so we stopped going over there. But like my mom, she wasn't really cooking the Thanksgiving dinner for a bit. Not that she can't, she has, it's really good, but sometimes she didn't feel like cooking. There's only just the three of us. Why make a big ass turkey, right? Yeah. So we started going to Hometown Buffet for Thanksgiving because I still wanted my fucking stuffing. Yeah. So it was always mad Asian families and all the Samoans in the neighborhood that was just over there going in on the
$13 you can feed a big old family.
Yeah, bro.
I miss it.
Yeah. We should go to Hometown Buffet one more time, but I don't know if there's any left. They're
Golden
all different.
Corral kind of took over the game.
Golden Corral, the one.
Golden Corral.
I never been either. We tried to go one time and it was like a crazy ass line.
Dumb packed. It was a brand new one.
I'm down. I want to go. Can I get invited?
Shit. All right, look.
All right, after this.
Next time we going to motherfucking Hometown Buffet.
We'll be like, yeah, stop eating all this goddamn sushi. Let's go.
For real.
Damn Hotel Buffet.
This bougie shit. Yeah. All right, well, speaking of special occasions,
I thought you were going to go bougie shit.
Yeah, me too.
No, speaking of eating, nope. Speaking of special occasions, our guest for today's episode, it was her birthday last week.
Oh yeah.
She is a former beauty queen from what I know about her, and now she's just a poppin' model on the IG that I follow. And she's just a fun girl to have around. Make some noise for Miss Katherine Lynn.
Gotta watch your use of the word just.
What I say?
She was a beauty queen. Now she just like, geesh.
Headphones if you want.
Okay. Hi.
Sup?
Hi. Oh, y'all said the same thing at the same time.
No.
I got a small head, so I got.
Yeah, it's okay. I got a big head, so it's okay. How are you?
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the afternoon to you.
Top of the night to you. Top of
the night.
How's it going?
It's good.
Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Have you been on a podcast before?
I have.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, kind of. I've been on radio when I was doing Miss Asian Las Vegas.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I loved it.
Okay, cool. That's a perfect segue because I wanted to know about this beauty pageant life and how does one go from being a beauty pageant queen, because I know that you guys really got to watch what you say and what you wear and how you present yourself, to being just queen of the thirst traps on IG. How does that transition happen? Well, first of all, how did you get started doing the beauty queen shit? Tell me about that.
Okay, so I lived in Vegas for like 15 years of my life. I'm originally from here, but I moved there with my family. My dad's a doctor. He opened a clinic up there, so moved the whole family there. Yeah, and then they were doing the very first Miss Asian Las Vegas pageant, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this, because I never pegged myself as a pageant girl. Like, I was never all like proper and like I have to talk perfectly and all like princessy.
Right.
Like, I was kind of a tomboy growing up.
Right, because I feel like a lot of girls that get into the beauty queen life, they're kind of groomed ever since they're little. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
especially like an Asian family, you don't grow up. I don't know. It's different, you know.
Okay.
And my mom was the one who actually told me about it. My parents were like, "You should do this. You know, you should learn more about your culture." I'm half Taiwanese, half Hong Kongese.
Oh,
it's like
is that-
Cantonese.
Oh, okay.
Chinese.
Hong Kongnese, yeah.
I don't know if that's a real word.
Hong
But
Kongian.
Kongian.
yeah.
Hong Kongican.
I'm not gonna pretend to know this one.
Hong Kongorian.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Sounds really exotic.
Hong Kongite. I like that one.
Yeah, all right.
So yeah, and I was born here in Monterey Park in California, America, and my parents were like, you know, you should really get in touch with your roots. This pageant will teach you more about your culture, and I mean, it's not just like a Chinese pageant. There's like Thai people, Vietnamese. You only have to be 1/4 Asian, so there's like mixed babies in there. Yeah, you could have.
I could have confused.
Right? And I was like, no, I was like so against it. But then my mom was like, just sign up. Like, no pressure. Like, if you don't win, we don't care. Like, we just want you to do something new.
Cool.
And I did it. I signed up, and it was kind of like weird at first. Like, I was like, I don't know if I belong here. Because it's actually really intense. Like, I so respect beauty pageant queens now because of all the shit you have to go through. Like,
Right.
It's not just like, you're so pretty, we'll throw you on a stage, like dance a little or whatever, like walk and you're good. But it's so intense from like the first day till the end. Like, we start training like almost 8 months ahead.
Oh, God.
For the actual day.
So, do the girls, is it like on the movies where the girls get all catty and like sabotage your dresses and shit? Like, does someone like, throw marbles when you're walking down the, down the thing and shit like that?
Okay, so this is like kind of a struggle for me because like I said, I kind of grew up tomboy-y, and I always had like a lot of guy friends, and it was hard for me to have like girlfriends in general growing up. Even now, sometimes it's hard because girls are really like competitive, and it's just hard. So when I went out, I was a little anxious about that. Just like, oh, I got to be surrounded by all these girls, and we're also competing. It's like, for sure, something's going to happen. I mean, I feel like the girls were pretty nice, but there was like cattiness backstage on the actual day. Like, people literally tried to frame people for like, oh, I lost my dress and that's why I lost the pageant, and it was like her fault and this and that. So it's just like amateur stuff like that. But no, it was great though. The pageant itself was great. I did make new friends. Like, I did it in 2013, so it's been like 6 years, and I still talk to some of the girls. Like, we're besties still. So
Did you have to do like a special talent portion?
I did.
What'd you do?
I love musicals. Not a lot of people know that about
For
me.
real?
'cause
Me too.
I think
That's
I
my
love
shit.
musicals. Yeah, like ever since I was a kid, my parents took me, like the Pantages Theater. We went to Lion King. I think that was like my first one, and I was like in love with the stage. I was like, I want to be that one day.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really like sing that well, but if I could, like, if someone was like, what was your dream job? Like, no worries about anything, pick one. It'd be like a Broadway musical singer. Like, actress.
Yeah. So what did you do then? What was
Oh,
your
yeah. Okay, so back to, I have like ADD, so tangents. I did a number from Chicago. I did
Okay.
Roxy. I don't know if you know that song, but
I do.
Do it.
No. Don't put me on the spot.
The one that's like, Roxy.
Yeah. I loved that musical, and my friend helped me choreograph something, and we did that number. I think that helped me win too, because it kind of like showed off more of your personality.
Right.
Because honestly, the pageant was really like uniform. Like, you gotta walk this way. There was like a swimsuit portion, but now they call it fitness.
Right, because they don't want to be as objectifying.
Right, they changed it. Let me try to think. There's so many different like segments of it. The first one, like you introduce yourself. This one was really cool though. Since it was an Asian pageant, we all had to wear like our traditional.
Oh, you wore a Hong Kongeran dress.
Yeah, I wore like it's called a chi pao, and I had this like giant headdress type thing. I had to like practice walking that. It was like custom made. It was pretty expensive. Like they don't really sponsor you. You kind of have to like save up the money.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, all the dresses.
How long did you do that for?
Did what? The save
just
up for?
competing.
Oh, in general, or just the Miss Asian thing was like my first ever time.
And you
doing
won?
Yeah, I did.
Oh
yeah.
shit! So you won your first ever pageant?
Yeah, I did. It was crazy because since I didn't feel like super serious about it, like I just kind of like laid back. Like everyone was like super into practicing their speech, and I was like, because you know, from the beginning, I kind of was like, you know,
yeah.
I was like, and then I did hire a coach. Like they had a coach, and they're like, oh, you can hire him if you want, and I'm glad I did. He helped me ace like every interview. Like the interview's the hardest part because you don't know what they're gonna ask you.
Do they really be asking you like shit like you know, if you could what's the biggest problem in the world you could like, you know, feed the children and shit like that?
Kind of things like that. Mine was hard. It was like controversial. Like, what do you think about plastic surgery?
Oh.
And like, you can't be like, oh, I hate it, because like, what if someone has it? Or like, oh, I totally support it and people are against it. So I had to be like really neutral about it. I'd be like, you know, I forgot what I said, but something about like, I believe that if, you know, someone wants to do it and it makes them happy, they should. Yeah. And plastic surgery is not always like bad. You know, it's for like children with cleft lips and things like that. Like I try to make it like medical and stuff. And I was like, okay. Yeah.
Okay, well then how did you go from beauty pageant to IG model, quote unquote?
You need to make an IG pageant. Just bring out all the girls with the like a certain number and just bring them all out in real life
and see who actually got personalities.
Right. We're calling it 2020.
Yeah. One of you's going home a winner. The rest of you are going home with new insecurities.
Oh my God.
Rick, you'd be a terrible judge.
Well, that's what it is.
Fit Tea presents.
You should run the pageant.
Man, I'm thinking about it. It's
The
not
No
bad
Chaser
idea.
podcast is bringing it. Hi, guys. Welcome.
All right, so how'd you go from that to what you're doing now?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy because I kind of like modeled and stuff before my pageant. I just always thought it was fun. Like I did modeling since I was a kid. And then, yeah, I won the pageant and I got like a lot of interviews and like media stuff. Like people are like, well, let's do photo shoots for Las Vegas Weekly and things like that. But I mean, obviously it's not like the stuff I post on Instagram. It's like beauty queen gown dresses, things like that. And I was like, this is fun. I really like this. And that kind of like put me on the map for like more photographers and things like that to be like, hey, what's up? Do you model? Like you're gorgeous and these, and you know, things like that. Actually, there's this magazine out here called Amped Asia magazine. Okay. It's like a super like sexy. Do you guys know it? It's like
I get the Filipino Chinese calls on that one.
It's like lingerie type thing, and they hit me up. They're like, you just won Miss Asian Las Vegas. We want to, you know, bring you out to LA and shoot you. Like, are you down? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is like good for my image. Like, I wasn't sure. But they were like, we can wait till your reign is over. And usually like your reign is like 1 to 2 years, depending on the pageant. And so when it was over, I was like, you know, why not? Like, it sounds fun. It sounds cool. So I came out here and I did that shoot. And that magazine like put me up to what I am today, I guess you could say.
So,
yeah.
What do your parents think about your Instagram? Because if you don't know, her stuff be out a little bit, or kind of. What kind of? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I, you know, like, well, my mom, she's, you know, like she made me grow up in this like strict kind of household. Like you can't, you know, you have strict curfew and who are your friends, like she had to know everywhere that I was and things like that. So honestly, she didn't know for a really long time. And I mean, eventually they caught on because I started like making it into a business. This is like 2013, 2014. I started like selling posters and things like that. I got booked for a lot of things that they had to like fly me out for, and she's like, where are you going? What is going on? And I was like, don't worry about it, it's this and that.
Oh God.
Like I did a lot of
Flying to the Philippines for a convention.
so I did a lot of car shows, and that also like helped me gain all these like followers. It was kind of crazy. Like I got sucked into this vortex of social media and like
Import
followers.
scene.
Yeah, that's kind of where I started. And so she, I think she like Googled me, and I was like, whoa, never thought she'd do that. And
Mom,
taught you how to use
Mom, you know how to use this?
Once Asian parents figure out a little bit of
my
internet,
God.
they go in,
A little
boy.
bit of internet, they know.
Yeah.
Yep.
and so I guess she found my Twitter.
Oh, your Twitter's crazier than Instagram?
I don't use Twitter as much anymore, and especially after she like saw this photo. I mean, I don't like do nudes or anything like
Right.
that, but it's still really like implied,
Right.
sexy. But I feel like it's still tasteful. And there's this one where I was like laying in a tub, like and she's like, "What the fuck?" she's like, "Hey, I need to talk to you." I was like, "What?" And I was home, and she's like, "What is this? Like, this isn't okay." I mean, at first she was like really mad, and then. I was just like kind of explaining to her, like, I was like, I don't know, like, I enjoy doing this. It doesn't mean like I'm out there like, selling.
dick? Oh,
Yeah, like I'm not doing porn or anything like that. She eventually was like, okay, as long as you don't like go into the porn industry and things like that. She was like really worried about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like in their eyes, it's like if you do those kind of pictures, and it's like
It's like a
it's
gateway
like-
drug.
Exactly.
Weed ass Instagram.
Yeah. and my dad, he was kind of I don't think he's ever seen it. If Dad, you're watching this, don't Google me.
Don't do it, Dad.
But
They get over it eventually.
yeah.
Well, Nikki Blake, tell us about your experience. How did we never asked you about this.
What?
How do your parents feel about your like revealing photos you post?
So I started modeling in college. And I was always half naked anyways. So kind of growing up, we have like, I don't know, in our culture it was a little bit like no shame. Like all the time we'd always be told like no shame, no shame. And when I decided to start doing more photo shoots, so I did the import scene too a little bit. So yeah.
Sista?
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Sista?
I already know exactly what the posters, the shirts, the shows,
the
the
merch.
imports, going to all these other places. My parents like had a real conversation. They're like, okay, listen, Playboy's probably going to be brought up because they believed in me from a long, like my parents were really supportive. So they were like, the only thing is that if they offer you a super low number, don't be cheap and don't take it. And also, if you're not going to do it for that, like don't show your nipples and don't show your vagina and we'll be okay. But like, that's like, I had a real conversation with my parents, and my dad took my Maxim magazine. I think it was about 2000 and it was around that time too. I did Maxim. I was posing in swimsuits, did all that. My dad used to take the magazine with him.
Like, show it off?
Yeah. My dad was like, cause we got published, and it was like, it's really, as a model, whether it's like fashion, print, import, you have to get published. That was the way to know you made it. If you weren't in a magazine, you weren't shit. Like with IG now, it's not the same.
Right.
But like during that time, you had to be printed. And so if you had actual work, that's where your numbers came from. That's where your credit came from. So all of my printed work, my dad has a surfboard. Like the surfboard I got from Maxim, he kept it. Like
Cute.
yeah.
Cool.
So I got
Awesome.
I got really lucky, but my parents are not conventional by any means. Like my parents met in the club. All right. So listen,
Shout out to the Hawaiian home.
yeah, they met in the club.
I imagine your dad showing people like a scribbled out picture. It's just your face, everything else scribbled out. Yeah, this is my daughter.
My dad and my uncles are such asses that they like do stuff on purpose to make you uncomfortable. So my dad will be like, "Look at my daughter just got back," and they're like this.
Where do I look?
Where do I look? And he's just like, "It's messing with you. We'll close it." And I'm like,
That's real nice.
That's right.
Real nice. Son.
Yeah,
That's real nice.
yeah. So my dad,
It's good, brother.
Yeah,
It's good, brother.
Yeah. So my dad and my mom. But I did just recently post something. That was a nice attempt at the accent. I heard you. Yeah. So he's like, brother. Oh, God, I'm-
Look at the paper, brother.
No,
You're throwing
not
through the
Jamaican.
paper.
Who are you guys?
Yeah. Your daughter titty on the paper, brother.
That's not how it's.
Have you not seen is it Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Marshall?
Yes.
That's how the dude sounds.
Throwing through the paper.
Throwing through the paper.
But yeah, that's kind of what they sound like. But like this last post I did, There's every once in a while where I get a text message from my
Oh,
mom.
with the hair covering the titty.
Yeah, so I just literally just did a shoot with a photographer that was out here. He used to do visual apparel, Van Styles, and my hair is like this, and it was strategically placed like that. And I posted it, and my mom just laughed. She goes, "Yeah, I see you keep staying within your rules of no nipples."
You know, now that I think about it, I had a picture like that, but it was like a hand bra, and in like 24 hours it got taken down, and I think it's probably my mom.
It's probably her.
She freaking reported me. It got taken down. It was her. It's for sure her.
Well, okay. What if Playboy came knocking at your door? Would you be down?
I don't know.
Or if like
I'd have to think about it.
Or if a movie scene. This question is for both of y'all because y'all know how Hollywood does women, right? So what if a movie scene was like, we got a scene for you with, I don't know, fucking Shia LaBeouf. But it's top.
I'm like, wait, can you pick someone else?
Right, let's try somebody else.
We will after we ask Shia LaBeouf.
Okay.
So a movie scene with Shia LaBeouf, let's say Transformers 4, and for some reason they showing titties. It's a love scene with Shia LaBeouf. Would you have your titties out?
I know they do like the fake body thing. Like
No,
where
it's
it
your
has to-
titties.
Okay.
I mean, what like the good Transformer, like the one that you know is gonna,
It's just a Transformers movie. You don't know nothing else about it.
I don't know. That to me, I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
But it's just titty. It's not simulated sex. It's like
Oh.
right.
What's the
see-
scene? What's the scene?
Right.
Is it a sex scene? Is it?
Because there's a lot of factors that go into making this decision.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, well check this out.
And
What
how
if
much money are they putting on the table?
what if okay, check this out. What if it's just a scene where you're like sunbathing
Okay.
and it's real quick and it's like 2 seconds you see your titties, right? Or you can have a starring role in this movie, but it's a sex scene with your titties out with Shia LaBeouf.
See, I can't. That's a hard no. That's a hard.
It's a starring role.
But that's
You
not,
are the
you
main-
can't. But you can't come back from
Is it
fucking
your
on
first
camera.
movie?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
With Shia LaBeouf.
Yes, you can.
First movie. It's your first movie.
I just got real nervous because part of me wants to be like, yeah, do it because it's a starring role, and then another part
Then
of me
it's like,
goes,
yeah, it's Shia LaBeouf, Transformers
Right,
4.
four.
It's not even like the
"Where's
first
not the first one?" You know what I mean?
No.
Has Angelina Jolie never showed a titty?
Yeah,
She
did.
did. She
Actually, you know what? You're right.
Halle Berry?
I'm not that serious of an actress, so I think I'd have to show a titty in order to get us.
I would do Margot Robbie in Wolf of Wall Street.
Ooh,
I would do that scene if that was my first movie.
Okay, and she
That was my role.
She
didn't
came
show her
out.
titties.
Oh, she came out all. No, she did show
Nude.
titties. She came out completely naked. Remember to seduce him when they
Yeah.
first kicked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I would do that.
Yeah, because I'm confident naked. I'm very confident with no clothes on. So I wouldn't be like shy. I'm probably just thinking, damn it, I'm about to be naked in front of everybody.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Or whoever.
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio. How about that?
Yes.
The whole scenario.
I was like, because Shia LaBeouf is not good. Shia LaBeouf is
She don't need to hear no more. She
She
said yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
chill, well, check this out. Let's flip it
Okay.
around a little
Right,
bit.
right.
Okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio, but it's Sharknado 8.
Okay, why you gotta do this?
Terrible movie.
Why? So that's a no.
Yeah.
Or your only part is like somebody snorts a line off your naked boobs.
That would be. I mean, that's.
It's Leonardo DiCaprio snorting a line off of your naked boobs.
I mean, yeah, I did an album cover where I'm like in like lingerie, so probably if it's my butt, like butt is
No,
okay.
you're
naked boobs.
Oh,
Is it a
well,
Martin Scorsese movie?
Yeah, like who's the director
yes.
of this?
Okay.
We have a question.
Depends. So depends how it's
So
gonna
what
come
we're
out.
getting from this is that yes, we would probably do it.
if
It's just
under these conditions.
What I'm
strictly.
getting from this is girls are great liars. Nobody coming through with a goddamn check.
I know. I'm over here. I'm thinking about some of the photo shoots I've done. I'm be like, I didn't do that. Shit.
You was not gonna. Well, can I know the scene?
Right.
Okay, can I read the whole script?
Because you have to make it at least sound like we're not desperate.
I know.
But on the inside, I mean, I'm not getting naked for a Tyler Perry movie.
Okay.
Okay, question. Would you ever do, because for some people, nudity is not as bad as a sex scene.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather show a titty or do an implied sex scene?
Okay. Good question.
I'd rather do an implied sex scene.
Yeah.
What do you show in the implied sex? If it's
Well, sometimes it's,
like
I mean,
everything.
it's different. You know, implied is what you
can do
wouldn't see it.
implied, but no.
But you're,
nudity.
but you're having
okay.
sex.
like you're on top of
I
somebody
feel
with a
like
sheet.
I
over
pick
you.
implied because when they show like titty, like an American Pie and stuff like that,
Yeah.
they always like have like a like bimbo sorority girl kind of thing like that. And I don't know. I'd rather be like I'm naked because I'm having sex with this character right now. So it kind of like makes more sense.
Story, like, actually.
And like everybody knows you're not actually having sex, so it's less. But those are actually your titties.
Yeah,
you know
true.
what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
I
What
agree.
about you? What about you?
Same.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But I'm not getting. I've seen some roles that some people have taken where they are naked and getting just from behind.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
And
stuff,
you know
but-
what I'm talking about? And I'm going, you didn't get paid enough.
Right.
That's a no.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I feel like there are definitely some
HBO be HBO.
you know, there are some Instagram models out there who I feel like someone might have told them, I got a part for you in this TV show or this movie, and it's 2 seconds of just, you know, like getting
Yeah. I think we're talking about the same show.
there's multiple, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a no.
All right, so I got some questions from the Instagram audience. A young man named JD Duran says, what is the craziest, weirdest thing a dude has DM'd you? Because I'm sure, you know, you get a lot of crazy DMs. We usually ask our guests this. What's a crazy DM you've gotten?
It's always crazy to me. I feel like
You get a lot of dick pics?
crazy. I got to think about it. Actually, no, not anymore. there used to be more. I think I was like, hey, don't send me dick pics, please, and then they like kind of stopped. But you know that. I feel like they're not like crazy, but it is crazy to me still, like the foot fetish pictures.
She was just
like,
saying that.
things like that. That's like the first, it's the usual.
I just said that the foot. Don't ask for my feet. That's fucking
Yeah.
weird. Even though I'm
Like,
not
I'll
opposed
pay
to
you to-
foot stuff, but that's weird.
Here's what's funny is like I think I've said this before that like I used to always say, what's the issue? If a dude is trying to pay me money to show my feet, I'll show my fucking feet, right? Until a motherfucker actually emailed me asking
God.
for feet pictures, and I was like, ew, this is weird.
Okay, what if
Feel
a
dirty.
girl hits you to pay for feet pictures?
I think about it.
See, it's
But
less
they're like
creepy.
$20.
That's the only reason it's
You
different.
just get $20.
$20.
Oh no,
I wouldn't do it.
You ain't seen these feet. Shit. $20.
Well, shit, my feet are ugly. I might do it for 25. I'm flat-footed and shit. My toes are dry.
Hey, I don't care what my feet look like. You gonna have to pay to find out. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I don't think I've ever seen your feet.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, no, I have. I have.
Yeah,
They cool.
I've had like weird, I guess, requests. Like people are like, "Oh, can you like bend over and like spread your asshole and send me a picture?" And I'm like,
crazy.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? For what?
To Bria Majors when she was on.
But she was asked to fart.
Fart.
Oh, fart. That's
Repeatedly.
right.
That's kind of
fart.
that's weirder.
Repeatedly
Yeah, just
on
spread the
the
butt cheeks. That's not weird.
Someone's asked me to pee. Like they were like, "Can you do a video like of you peeing like that on the
get
toilet?"
The
And I'm
jump
like,
on me ones? Do you get people asking you to jump on them?
Yeah, I've had.
See?
That's weird,
Told
but
you
I
that's
feel
a
like
thing.
that's like a massage thing, or
I don't know. I'm heavy, so if I'm jumping, I mean, maybe
like
for
you walk on my back kind
yeah.
of thing.
No, they say like stomp on my.
Oh yeah, I had
See?
this guy.
Told you.
He said, "Can you step on my balls? Like, can you punch him?" Like I was just like, "Who that?" One, I would never meet up with like a random guy like that.
Yeah.
But two, like, why? Like, it's weird.
I you know, the dudes out there that like to be dominated and punished and shit, it gets interesting because I have a homegirl who she just told me the story how she does dom shit, but not even in person. She does dom shit from her webcam and just tells dudes to do fucked up shit. They pay her and then they do it. And she was like, one of my dudes, I told him to shove a electric toothbrush up his ass, turn it on, use it, and then go to work. And he did it and paid her just to have her tell him to do that, you know, and she's making money.
It's a real shitty situation.
That's crazy.
I see.
That is interesting.
That-
Why?
I mean, what makes you think of that though? You know what? I'm gonna make you
Yeah,
take those
like-
glasses, shove it in your pee hole.
I feel like it's an actual job for her. Like she sits
has to
and
think
studies
about
and
that.
Imagination.
Yeah.
Fuck, what would make you? And then I want you to turn that thing on and leave it
That's
there
like
for
the-
60 seconds. And
That's
then-
the thing that makes him come. Like when it turns, she's
Yes,
like, "Turn it on, don't
and
forget."
then put it in your mouth. I go talk to everybody in there.
Brush your teeth.
I think I could do this.
You ever had to deal with? You think you could do
I
it?
think I could do this.
Hey, you got that. You just imagination,
Yeah?
Blades.
Woo. Okay, let's test this out. Actually, no, let's not. No.
You ever had to deal with like any I don't know, like stalker situations or anything like that?
Kind of, a little bit, yeah. Because I do a lot of appearances, like club appearances or even like car shows and things like that. And it's just like, I know you're from my Instagram. Like, I know you've seen, and then they'll like come up to me, but like not actually talk to me, but like be from afar. But there's some that'll come up straight to me and be like, hey, I follow you. Like, this is me. This is my username. So and so. Let me buy your panties. The ones you're wearing right
they
now.
ask you in person?
Let me buy your panties.
They're like the
off
ones you're wearing right now.
That is bold.
Wow.
I've had someone come up to me at a car show. He was like trying to be sly about it. Like, oh, you have really nice heels on. Do your feet hurt? Do your feet hurt? I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, like, yeah. And he's like, oh, let me give you a foot massage real quick. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, they go to every booth asking people
Yeah.
that. What about the ones, how do you feel about the ones that have printed out pictures of you already? Because I know you do the car shows. So one of the things that they do is they print out the pictures that they like. And
Well, first of all, I'm like, I'm selling my posters, so don't bring like, don't bring them here like free to like come buy. Like the first thing is like, well, I'm here to like make money, so don't like bring stuff. But I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I'm not mean or whatever, so I'll talk to them and I'm like, I'll sign it. I'll be like, okay. There's someone who like brings Polaroids of all the girls and. Everyone's like, oh,
That he took like
he prints out, like he's a printer.
Oh, okay.
And he's like at every car show and he's like, you know, can you sign these for me? And some girls actually get weirded out. Like I'm used to him. I've been seeing him for like years and I'm like, oh, what's up? Like I know
Yes,
my first
James.
name. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly how all the girls are. They're like, okay. And the newer girls, they'll tell like security and they'll be like, this guy had pictures of me. He told me to sign him. I wanted to keep them because they're like cute little Polaroids. And he's like, no, like he was being like hostile about it. I was like, no, they're mine. And then she's like, what are you going to do with those? And he got like kicked out and stuff. So
like, what do you do when they touch you? Have you ever been, I know you've been touched at a car show.
security, like,
yeah, but also
that's a good thing.
I just randomly I feel like in a different circumstance, you've been standing around all day, your feet hurt, let me rub them is a good line though. I feel like
Yeah.
it's a pretty good one,
Yeah,
right?
if you're actually
if
trying
you're
to
foot fetish and you want to like
no,
touch
not even.
But not if you're a random dude.
No, there's some
yeah,
girls.
yeah.
There are some girls that have been on their feet in these crazy heels, and they're like, "Yes, I don't even care if you're into this right now." They're literally like, shoes are kicked off. They're like, "Yes, help me."
Yeah. So I've only been to car shows for like business purposes, like either we're selling goods or
But that's
performing
what
there or
you're
something
supposed
like that. Yeah.
not to touch
But yeah,
bodies. Yeah, and feet.
I walked around one time and was like, all right, never again.
Yeah.
Because all of these dudes are creeps.
Ah.
I see it.
Kind of are. Well, they are.
So I'm like,
gotta
shit,
say- I have a story.
I look like this now. So I'm like, all right, let me stay in my booth. Fuck that.
You have a story.
There's this guy who came to the car show, and later he like I use Snapchat a lot of the time. I don't use Snapchat as much anymore, but he was like, I'm gonna snap you later. I want to show you like the posters that I bought from you on my wall. I'm like, okay, and then later on I go on Snapchat and it's in his so he has his room, like there's nothing on his wall in the room, and he like goes like this, and then he like opens the door and it's his closet, like a walk-in closet, and the whole closet was posters of import model girls. And I kind of was like, whoa, like 'cause this is like serial killer shit. But I was just scared, kind of like watching it. But he was just like, oh, like, and then he like zoomed in. He's like, there's you. And then I kind of was like, oh, like, how come you don't put some in your room? It looks like you're running out of room there. And he's just like, oh, you know, like if I ever go on dates or like, you know, my mom comes in here. I mean, like, and he was like 40 years old probably. I don't know. But he's like, you know, I don't want them to see, so I put it in my closet. I'm just like, what else do you do in that closet? You know what I mean?
Oh God.
check off.
Yeah. Have you ever dated a fan?
No, I haven't. I'm not opposed to it.
Have
I
you
just
ever dated an ugly photographer for free images?
No.
You just called out a couple people on Instagram right now.
That's an interesting segue because I'm sure you know, I feel like nowadays there's so many dudes who buy a camera just to take creepy naked pictures of girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, have you ever been in a situation where, or not even situation, like, do you get a lot of dudes hitting you up like that? You know, where it's like,
Let's
Yeah,
shoot.
for sure.
yeah, let's shoot.
For sure. I get like emails, Instagram DMs, like, oh, let's shoot. And then I'll like look and I'm like, oh, you're not like a real photographer. Come on. You know, you're kind of just, you bought a camera and now you're just trying to get girls naked. And some girls go though.
There's some that
And
are
I'm like, why?
they really just really
Distasteful
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah.
Now, girls like to be naked. Like, I'm not a photographer by any means, but I like to practice because we have a brand and
Yeah.
I shoot it so I don't have to pay photographers.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll hit up different people, and whenever I'm hitting up a girl, I'm specific. I'm like, with clothes.
Yeah.
I would, like, where's some stuff that we make? And they're always like, okay, cool, but I just got this new bikini. I'm like, nope. That's not what I want to do because I don't want to be the fat guy with the camera taking naked pictures. Keep your damn clothes on. But they want it.
I
It's
do
weird.
get an anxiety, I feel like, before shooting with new photographers. Like back then, I used to shoot with like whoever, like a new model, you shoot with whoever, and so much weird stuff has happened. Like one of my very first shoots where I did implied, like topless but didn't show anything, was with this guy in Vegas, and his pictures looked cool. Like I checked it out, made sure it was like kind of safe. Like you never really know if it's safe. I mean, you're always like, oh, can I bring someone? If they're like straight up like no, you're kind of just like, why
Yeah.
not?
Right.
Red flag.
But I did bring someone to this shoot, but it wasn't, the shoot itself wasn't weird. What happened afterward was weird. He like texted me, he's like, here's your images. He's like, you know, you have such beautiful skin. I didn't even have to touch it up. And then he was like, yeah, like he's married and he had like a kid, and he's like, you know, would you be down for like a threesome sometime, like while you're looking at like editing pictures with me? And I was like, what? Like, what are you about? That's like the last thing I expected, and I was barely like 18. Like I just turned 18. I was like, this is crazy. And just things like that like kind of made me scared of like all kinds of photographers.
Right.
But yeah, so there's certain ones now that I'll shoot with, like take off my clothes kind of thing, that I trust, and then there's like a bunch that I'm like, I'm not sure about you.
Yeah.
And I have to like test your vibe when
Yeah.
I get there.
The Model Mayhem days. Were you on Model
Yeah,
Mayhem?
I was.
Model
But that's where like there's a lot of creepy people on there.
This
Yeah.
lady I know, she always cautions girls. She say, if you like their work and you do want to shoot with them, don't do anything until you contact models they've already shot and
Yeah.
ask, what was your experience like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of like all these scandals coming out with that one photographer. And
Yeah.
nudes.
Oh man. Yeah.
But that's true, and I'm glad that came out because a lot of that happens in real life.
For sure.
You know what was crazy, because you bringing that up, I had worked with a photographer that there was rumors about, and I kind of was like, you know, sometimes when you're like, I don't know, but I like the work, you know, and you go and you take all the steps, and like my interaction with them was different than the other ones. Like I had a great experience. I thought it like the work was awesome, but I can imagine that's how everybody gets really confused. Because my experience, I would say, oh yeah, go work with them.
Yeah.
The next person would be like, oh no, don't. This happened to me.
Yeah.
And it's not. I'm not saying your experience didn't happen, but it's hard because you don't really
Yeah.
know.
Well, those dudes pick and choose. They go off a vibe. Like, oh, she seems very
She's down.
secure in herself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She seems like the type that's gonna put up a fight or whatever. I mean, not try it with her. This one, she seems like she really wants to do this shit. She's willing to do whatever. Let me see where I
Yeah.
can take this.
Man, photographers
it's
back in the day,
sad.
it was different. If you had numbers on the gram as a photographer, you were like, everybody was fighting to try and work with
Right.
you.
Yeah. No, I encourage like girls and models to like speak up, or at least like talk to their fellow models about photographers, because I've worked with photographers that did try to do like things to me that I totally like was not cool with, and I was like, you know, you need to get out. And I've like talked with girls that have worked with the same photographer, like, hey, like how was your experience with this guy? And straight up she was like, he got me drunk and he fingered me and I didn't like it. And she did it because she wanted, I don't know, like it's like a manipulation thing. Like he's kind of like, I shot with these big models,
Right.
and do you want to be like them? They drink, why don't you drink? And it was like she was like coerced into it, and I felt horrible. And I was like, and she's like, you know, I don't know what to do. And I'm just like, you know, I feel like girls should talk about it, because we don't.
For sure.
We don't. We're scared. And we
Right.
shouldn't be scared.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best way to really find out and go about it, is talk to each other and
look out for each
You look
other.
out
Yeah.
for each other. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy out here. I mean, so many hungry people just trying to advance their careers. So it's a lot of people out here that are going to be trying to take advantage of that, you know?
And you know what's hard is that there's probably other ones because not everybody wants to help each other. There are some girls that are like, yes, I'm down. And you know that they're down for whatever it takes. And I mean, I hate to say this, but those are the ones that make everybody else's job harder. Yeah. They're the ones that take the jobs for cheaper. They're the ones that go and do more. And then people go, oh, well, so-and-so did it. You're like,
right.
Well, I'm not so-and-so.
They like set the standard to like, you know.
Yeah.
So what's have you ever had a photographer just have a weird idea that you were just like, nope, not gonna do that. Not for me.
Like a concept. Well,
yeah.
There was a photographer, not the concept. Well, I mean, there's like a bondage guy, and I kind of wasn't down for that. I mean, like in real life with my man or something, like I'm kind of like, okay, like that's cool, but like I wouldn't be down for that, like kind of like fully nude and then like wrapped up in like tight rope kind of thing.
Oh yeah, damn,
and
that's
I'm
hot,
like, that's kind
that shit's cool.
But I don't see, like, if I did that, like, where would I wouldn't even like want to post that, and it's like I don't really know what I'd do with this, and it's just like not worth my time kind of thing. I do feel like sometimes guys create like these concepts because they just want to see it happen, and kind of like a trick.
That's that. I mean, that
Like, trust me, it'll look good, Tim. It'll look good. Let me just like tie your ball sack like real tight.
Oh my
it'll
God.
look good.
Everyone's gonna love it. Everyone's gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
You're gonna get like
Okay,
5
it's gonna be
million
so
likes on
purple, dude.
Just when I followed purplesacks.com, I didn't know it was gonna be like this. Speaking of man, you got a man? I'm sure they all want to know. Oh, okay. Or I feel like,
That sucks for him.
is it and because you're not sure, or and because as a model who's doing these like seductive shoots, you'd rather not put out there when you got a man, because dudes are like, this bitch got a boyfriend, unfollow.
She can't answer.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of like both.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, one thing that's hard about being a model is finding like a good man, I feel like.
Right.
Honestly, and I talk to a lot of my girlfriends that do the same thing, and they all have like relationship problems. Like like their man is like controlling or abusive or jealous. But they all start off like normal. They're like, "Oh, I know you model. I know you like do nudes and stuff like that and shoot with photographers. I'm all cool with it, babe. Like go do your thing." And then later it's like they're like, what the fuck? You're cheating on me.
Kanye literally just told Kim Kardashian that he does not like how his wife dresses sexy.
But that's
But she's been doing that forever, right?
But you
religion
married Kim Kardashian.
He found God recently.
Yeah.
He's different now.
God
He liked it before. He made his own and said, "You're such a fucking hoe. I love it." And now he's like, wait a minute. No, I don't. God told me I don't love it. I don't love
He needs
it.
to make another song.
Please stop being a hoe. I hate it.
So you guys, I feel like y'all both have been through the same shit, because I feel like a lot of models with boyfriends, the boyfriends are probably intrigued by y'all being in revealing clothes. It's like, this is what is drawing me towards you, and then when you get into the relationship, now the insecurities take over, the jealousy takes over, and so that's probably really difficult for y'all to find a dude that is okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like he either has to be somebody who's in the industry already, or just super secure, you know?
Super secure, can't listen to the outside world, because a lot of times they are secure,
outside people.
but then other people, damn, bro, I saw your girl doing that, and it gets in their head. Yeah. And then there's the factor that a lot of girls don't want to admit is it becomes two separate lives. Like, this is what I do on camera. I'm not going to do that for you. So now you got the sweats t-shirt, but the rest of the world gets the lingerie. So it's like, well, damn, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get it, but still, stop being so insecure if you're gonna go and date a model.
Like I've dealt with like the really insecure one, and then I dealt with the one that was like super supportive, to where it was like, they like kind of like walk with you, and they walk away. They're like, okay, go do your thing, and then they leave, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I've been on that too. Like my ex, he was like crazy. Like he was super insecure, and like his boys were always like, "Look at your girl." Like they would send each other like pictures of me from my Instagram and be like, "Your girl has nudes on here" and stuff like that. And it would get to him, and he would take it all out on me.
It's the fucking it's the insecure ass homeboys that are like, man, you gonna let her disrespect you like that?
Yeah.
Like,
But they want to
Exactly.
be disrespected.
yeah.
It's like, hey, stop following my girl, nigga. How about
Right?
that?
It's like they all would love to be with a chick like that, but then it's like, but then they want to attack your manhood and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, as dudes, like being told like, okay, you know, you got to be a man. That's one of the things that'll really get to you when a motherfucker's like, oh, she gonna disrespect your manhood, or it's like, well, you know, the shit that will convince a dude 9 times out of 10 to do something he doesn't want to do is stop being a little bitch, stop being a little pussy,
Or damn, you gonna wife that up? I've heard.
Yeah.
I heard that. I was like, I will.
Yeah.
slap
Yeah,
I have a question for you, Tim. Like, this is what I don't get about men, and I kind of feel like they're kind of hypocritical in the sense of like, they're not, sometimes like some guys, like my ex, was not cool with like me posting these things, even though I was doing it way before him. He's like, oh, all you do is like post, you know, lingerie and things like that. But then like when I go and see all the pictures he likes, they're all like the same, like these, you know, the girls like that. And I'm just like, okay, like, why are you mad at me? Why are you gonna be mad at me for that? So I don't get it. Explain it. I don't get that. Or you explain it.
The same reason that girls who post those pictures get mad at their boyfriends for liking those pictures.
Oh man,
People are just man.
Oh, okay. True.
Yeah,
True.
but not people are just selfish.
Yeah.
Everybody I can like a bunch of pictures knowing I'm not doing anything with these girls. I'm not about to hit them up or anything like that. But that's because I know me. I don't really know what's going on in my girl's head, so I can let it get in my head that she's doing it for other reasons. When she's posting these and all these dudes are liking it and commenting and in her DM, she might like it. That's how they get in their head, and it's the same thing vice versa. It's definitely some hypocrite shit though.
Yeah.
Like complete
like against
hypocrite
each
shit.
other.
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, like, look, I mean, I feel like I'm also a little different because, you know, like guys like me and Rick, we are kind of in this industry. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, we're very open-minded dudes that are in the industry. So we're like, look, we understand when like a girl is on the gram taking pictures and doing this. We get it. That's part of your career. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like people always, you know, because I be liking pictures. You know what I'm saying? I be liking pictures of girls on Instagram, and a lot of people are like, yo, Tim, how you gonna be liking pictures when you're married? I'm like, bro, I like all types of pictures. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, I'm not hiding it because, like Rick said, like I know where my head is at. For me, it's just like I see a nice picture and I'm liking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my intentions are not that I'm trying to slide in the DMs and fuck this girl.
I don't want to fuck LeBron James. I liked his post.
I don't want to fuck this In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
Well, I want to eat it, but that's different. That's different. And Chia knows that I'm not trying to fuck nobody on the gram either. I'm liking pictures. I mean, look, to be fair, okay, if she's PMSing, she might be like, oh, you liking this? You like that? But 90% of the time, she understands where my head is at, and it's nothing crazy.
So it's
you know?
about trust when it all comes down to it. I feel
Trust
like.
and security, man.
I mean, I was with someone that went and decided that they wanted to follow everyone I was following, and then like their photos. And to me, that's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
And I completely get that.
I agree.
And here's another thing too. And that you said that. I'm glad you said that because, like I said, Chia doesn't trip on me liking pictures of just like, you know, Instagram model homegirls, but she does have like homegirls of hers that I follow now because I've known her for so long, and like I would never, if they were in a bikini or some shit, like one of those.
And that's
I don't even follow my girls' friends.
Well, because they're more attainable.
right.
Like, they're in your group.
real. There's nothing to me. I found it like, again, you have to cancel out everybody else's shit, but if my dude's name is under my friend's naked photo, I'm not happy.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I feel you.
because it's not only your dude doing that. You know, your friend, which everybody knows each other's mans, are like,
Yeah.
why he like
it's
my
embarrassing.
picture?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like you said, you got to know, but there got to be some lines like, don't be.
Yeah.
Is it only the like though? Because again, we can go on to the opposite side. It's like, you know, my friends follow you. Why are you posting that?
But
that's not a
for
question.
them.
That's not a question I would ask. It's not for them,
Yeah.
you know. But you know, they're seeing
There's
it like
to me, there's a certain like going and following everyone your partner follows that you don't know them. Here's the thing.
no,
you don't,
that's weird.
Yeah, you
Off
don't
top.
know
I'd be
them.
uncomfortable. For sure.
But like, yeah, there has to be like, there's been some of my friends where I'm like, yeah, I get it. I see why, you know, their name is underneath that. Like, I get it. Like, oh yeah, you're showing support. But there's certain ones where I'm like, you don't know her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why are you? And then
Exactly.
because I'll admit it, my ass gets insecure at times and I get jealous at times. And there's some moments where I'm like, not feeling myself. And like you had said, there some days I'll be like, I really don't care. You can see this girl in real life and I am not worried about it at all. And then there's some days where you're like, oh, she over here with she got a big old butt and I ain't got a, why you liking this girl's photo for? But now they don't have that feature. By the way, you can't see anybody's likes anymore.
Is that real?
You cannot see everybody's
likes
you cannot see it anymore.
You can't
it's gone.
unless you're gonna go to certain
Pictures.
pages and go
to
and
the
look.
likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go
But
and look.
Some girls will.
Oh no,
I believe it.
Oh yeah.
Most girls will. They'll go through every fucking one
I've
you
been there.
follow it.
I don't care.
Same.
I've been there.
Y'all are nuts. But,
Yeah.
but I
I'm
mean,
crazy.
I think that never should have been there. That caused so
Oh,
much
my
problems,
God.
so much unnecessary problems. Because literally, like, I used to be a fucking likeaholic.
Yeah.
I followed all the girls. I liked all the pictures. But it literally meant nothing.
Yeah.
There would be times where we would go to things and I'd meet a girl in person and she's cool or whatever. You should follow me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I do. I didn't even recognize that this is the same person.
Yeah.
I didn't remember your name or none of that shit. You were a picture to me.
Right.
Like that was
You're
it.
saying there's no emotional connection liking these
Yeah, now
pictures?
of course that's not all the time. Sometimes you know the name and you like, damn, I hope she see this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what worries the girls.
Yeah,
You just said
but
that, yeah.
I'm not saying while you're in a relationship, but yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's how everybody uses social
Right.
media. You never know what it is. Like some girls are liking your shit because they want you to DM them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not the case all the time.
It's just tricky. It's just really
Yeah.
tricky. I remember having a conversation saying, if you would go up and smack her ass in person in front of me, then then you are that confident and that bold. And every time you go and follow somebody and like, I go, but there's a
That's
difference.
fucking dumb.
But I said, so if you can go up and tell her that you like her, you think that she's cute in front of me. That's what you just did. When we could see all the likes, I said, you just told me. If we've already had a conversation, mind you, each relationship is different.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to be tripping off of your partner liking stuff if you guys trust each other. But if you're insecure, and you should explain that to your partner because that's what you're supposed to do. And you say, hey, you liking all these girls' photos really make me feel some type of way.
Right.
And then if they proceed to continue to do that and call you insecure and do all those things, and you say, to me, in my mind, it looks like you're walking up to them in front of me and saying, I like you, with me knowing that.
But that goes back to the point. Can they then say, you posting all these photos makes me feel away, and then you stop doing it?
Yes, you can have that conversation between a relationship.
You would stop doing it.
If we are at that point and that's not my career, this is not for everybody. For me, like I needed an explanation on why are you doing the most when I've already explained this to you and I haven't been posting photos. And when I don't follow dudes, and I don't post certain pictures at that time.
That's controlling though.
But
I feel like if
In
you're
a relationship,
communicating
yeah.
your likes and your needs, like that's important.
Yeah.
Like if that's her communication, it's like, okay. like
It is
as a
important,
man.
but how much do you have to give a person? Because I could say I don't like when you wear red because dudes look at you more when you wear red.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense for you to be like, oh, well, let me throw away all my red?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that that's the same level. It's just where do you draw the line?
Right.
Because for dudes, you say it's like going up to a girl in front of you and liking
if we've
a
already
picture.
had this conversation
If
and
she
your ass
talked
is
about it.
still doing it,
No,
That's
but I'm saying like
disrespectful.
if
Right.
you seeing the like is like you seeing him tell a girl she's pretty. For the dude, it's more like walking past a girl on the street and double taking and keeping it pushing. You know what
you
I'm saying?
still gonna get a smack upside your head.
No, but
if we
it's
in
not
public.
about it's not about you being you're not there. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's just like, oh damn. And you keep it pushing. That's the mentality in their head.
And I get it. There are certain things that aren't for everybody. Like you said, if I'm not following, if we're going, hey, you don't like when I follow dudes, shit, I get it. Because I don't like
Yeah.
when you follow girls. But if you go in and doing the most, and then it's like, you can walk away from a relationship at any time. If you don't like what it is or you don't like how it's going, walk away. Some people are like, okay, we can figure this out. Instagram and social media is a new thing in relationships that we're learning, that we have to learn. There's no right and wrong yet. We don't know yet. If I tell you, I don't like how you post all those naked pictures, how do you think you're ever going to get into a relationship? That's not a conversation people were having back in the day. This is like, this is new. That's
See why it's hard to find a man?
I completely understand.
Like to marry
It's
and-
difficult. It's super difficult, but it's like what you're saying right now is spot on. You're letting this new thing affect your
Your
real life, your
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Now this is important. How you move on social media,
Yeah.
which isn't
Yeah.
even something real. Social media in general, it's fucking weird because it's like, okay, so we don't have a problem with certain posts from girls, but whatever that post that other people would have a problem in, if that was happening in front of your friends just chilling, it would be a problem.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a weird separate world that, like you said, it's just hard to navigate
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you can feel away one day and you not
Right.
the next.
And
Like you saying, like if I was dating an Instagram girl and she was,
Any girl.
Okay.
And she was chilling with you and your friends and she had on lingerie or a bra and panties just
Okay,
chilling
yes.
in the house. That's weird.
wouldn't like that, right?
But when your girl is like, oh, I'm a model,
Yeah.
and she posts that shit and all your friends follow her or whatever, it's not, you can be like, it's not a big deal. I know your intentions. You're not trying to do anything. But even if she's at the house and you know she's not trying to fuck your friend,
Right.
you still gonna be like,
Put some clothes
why-
on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's like different, I feel like, because
Yeah, it's
what's the
completely
purpose
different.
of you wearing lingerie around my friends? Whereas like on Instagram, most of the time we kind of have a purpose, like, you know, we're sponsored by something
Yeah.
or
This
you know,
conversation
it's
with-
Most
different.
girls ain't sponsored. That's the thing. You come from a business
Yeah.
standpoint where it's more understandable. But there's so many girls who are looking at girls like you, like, oh, I have to compete. These are they have followers. This is how they got it, and they're just doing that. But they're getting no gain from it. They're not getting paid. They're not getting sponsorship. They're just getting attention and likes.
You know what is good about what's happening nowadays with social media, and this conversation is vital. This is really good to have. Like relationships with 20, you know, the new day and age, and trying to figure
Yeah.
it out. It can work, but you have to be secure and all those other things. But also that having actual talent, people are seeing that you need to have some damn talent. You being naked on the gram is not going to get you paid. You being naked on the gram isn't going to always secure the bag. You being, you know, you have to see that there's more to a lot of these people. But I think that wasn't the case. Like I want to say a few years back, it really was about the post. It really was about being, you know, naked. It really was about looking at all these girls that are just blowing up because they got body and all this other stuff. So it is coming to a point in time to where substance is always going to come back in style. I do
Yeah.
believe that.
Same.
But with social media dating, you have to know, like we talked about guys sliding in the DMs. What is a girl going to do? Look at your page. What your page got.
Yeah.
Your page
Yeah.
says a lot about you and who you are. If in your bio you are a model, you are this is all my work, that's why the page looks like that. If you are just regular Becky down the street over here naked for no reason, that's how you're going to look to people. So
Yeah.
I think you got to know who you're getting with too.
And to
true.
be clear, I completely understand the politics.
Right.
Like I'm talking about how it should be, but I done unfollowed a bunch. I don't like pictures. You know, you've seen when the following tab was there. You see LeBron James, LeBron James. That's it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm not doing shit to make random girls feel special because I know it could seem a way. I just hate the fact that it could seem a way when it's not what you mean.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
the annoying part.
Look, man, just follow me on purplesacks.com.
Purple sack.
Is there anything you want to tell us about, promote before we close this thing out?
Well, I'm currently like writing a docu-series about
shit.
music, but it's like super beginning in the work, so I'll let you know about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
Tight. Well,
Yeah.
shit. Thank you to Miss Katherine Lynn for coming to this
Thanks for
podcast.
having me.
Appreciate
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Make sure y'all like this shit, share this shit, follow everybody on everything. I'm Timothy De La Ghetto.
I'm Ricky Shutt.
And I'm Nikki Blades.
Peace, motherfucker.
Bye.
Welcome back to MTV's
Animal Style.
I'm Timothy De La Ghetto.
I'm Darren Big Baby Brand.
This is the show where we meet, learn about, and review.
Some of the cutest and creepiest animals in the kingdom.
Let's see what's up first.
Oh, the neck turn freaks me. Did it pass? Oh, you passed it!
I just washed my hair last night too, so it's gonna be smelling nice up there.
Damn, you're a G. It's literally like nibbling at your hair.
I'm just focused on a little hemoglobin.
Homo sapien doing all right over there, ain't he?